to the 2024 Mission WDF Lakeside World Championship. And we welcome to the stage a young lady making her Lakeside debut. Former five-time Latvian Open champion, the reigning Iceland Open champion from Sweden, Jansson. Opponent is the winner of 5 world ranking titles this year. The reigning Antwerp Open, Finnish Open and Malta Open champion. Making her Lakeside debut from the Netherlands, Lerena, Rietbergen.
So for the final time in the ladies competition, we welcome 2 players into round 1 of the competition and 2 debutantes. Maud Jansson has been throwing darts for more than 2 decades, 22 years since her first title. A player who's been a standout performer in the Scandinavian region. She takes on 22-year-old Lerena Rietbergen, who was 1 game away from automatic qualification for next year's Lakeside, but lost out in the final of the Irish Open to Lorraine Hyde, a young player with plenty of potential and one who's committed to the WDF Tour this year. And she's reaped the rewards from it. 5 titles, as mentioned by our MC, Anthony Dundas. These are 2 players who are used to winning in their respective regions, but Andrew Sinclair, the Lakeside stage is a very different place.
Absolutely, and we saw in our last game a debutant, Howard Jones, just didn't quite click for him. Both of these ladies will be hoping that they do make a strong start in this one, and you'll see Maud on the ball. She throws first here. Her best friend and regular pairs partner for Sweden, Anna Forsmark, was on this stage last year, and now Maud following in her footsteps, and they both have a very similar throw. They stand very square on to the oche, which they make it work for themselves, but I've never quite grasped that approach. But as for Lerena, she was always a prodigiously talented youth player, and then really stepped up to the ladies circuit earlier this year. And actually, during the course of 2024, she had the 3rd most points of anyone in the WDF on the women's side this year, bettered only by Bo Greaves and Rhiannon Sullivan, I believe. So yeah, Lorena's been a standout player this year, and she's won titles in a lot of the places she's been to. Did a double in Finland, for example. So she comes into this, a debutant, yes, but high expectations that this will be the first of many appearances for her.
Absolutely, and she's playing regular darts as well. Got to the semi-finals of the Czech Open only last weekend, so lots of match practice for her.
Yeah, she regularly travels with Moreno Blom, who we'll see in action later on tonight. And yeah, those guys go most places, and they always seem to be in and around the points. And yeah, she's got a lovely throw, Lerena. Not a lot of moving parts.
140.
And you know, I think this has been a great sort of proving herself year for her, and I think next year stepping up, not just in the big WDF competitions and getting more points and getting even deeper, but I expect her to start doing some of the women's series as well next year.
58.
Maud Jansson looking to ensure that it's double joy for the Swedes after Dennis Nilsson's victory, and there is a big Swedish contingent you may have seen in the walk-on.
55.
Likes of Bjorn Leon and Edwin Torbjornsson showing their support.
Yep.
Johan Engstrom as well has come for a visit with his partner Kirsi Minikainen involved.
58.
Relatively pedestrian start to this one, but Lerena will come back for 86.
59. Lerena require 86.
18 or treble ensures that it's safe.
61. Would require 180.
Misses her first opportunity at the bullseye.
52. Lerena require 25.
Double four. Double two.
23. Would require 66.
Well, she wanted the single.
62.
And a curious choice to leave double two. Lerena Rietbergen takes the first leg in the madhouse. I must say, there is a lovely firmness to the way that she throws the dart.
Oh yes, they definitely stay thrown. Doubt she's going to have issues with bounce outs in this one. I think that's the one area of Lorena's game, though, that I think there is still improvement to be made. She's a good scorer. She's demonstrated good scoring power in all the WDF tournaments this year, but sometimes her finishing is a little bit suspect, needing multiple attempts to check out. And I think if she tightens that up, she will bring her average up into that 80 region more often. Tends to sort of be a low 70s most of the time. But yeah, I think that's where she may come under pressure in this one, is if she does muck about on the doubles, then I'm sure Maud will be there to sweep up. Although again, her approach play will need to be better than, I'm not quite sure what that was, going for 66.
$121.
I have to say it's a slightly more quiet playing shirt for Lerena than the ones I've seen her wear in tour events. She's part of a team, a local team in the Netherlands, where I'm not entirely sure of the name. I know the Dutch name, but I'm not going to embarrass myself with my pronunciation. Mr. Meyer will only chastise me, but it's something like the Darting Ducks. It's something to that effect, and she has a blue shirt that's covered in lots of images of little rubber ducks. So if she progresses here, that one may get an outing in the next round, representing her local club.
I'm sure it'll have been packed in the suitcase. Lovely dart, double 16.
42. Would you require 82?
They weren't badly thrown darts at double 16, but just wide of the mark. 17 back for the bullseye. That wasn't far off. Both players already missing the button in the middle. Two double eights. Oh, very nice. Great work from Lerena Rietbergen.
Yeah, a bit of a celebration there from Lerena. I think that's been, aside from the level of performance this year, I think the thing that's impressed me most about her is her demeanour, because when she was a youth player, she had incredible talent, but didn't always take defeats in the best way. Not saying she was a bad loser, but she would beat herself up a lot when she lost. I think this year there's more of a maturity to her where she sort of tends to see the losses as part of a building process and part of a learning experience. And I think that has helped her become a better player and make that step up from the youth level to competing at a high level with the rest of the women's circuit.
97.
Lerena only averaging 62, but we go back to that lack of clinicality on the doubles. Had 9 attempts, only hit 2. The only one we've seen from Maud is that dart that wired the bullseye.
45.
Maud was in the driving seat in this one, but Lerena want to punish her here. More of those would help.
85.
Well, the inconsistency of Maud was summed up by a visit of 135 followed by 7. Have to work to try and stay straighter. Good board management from Lerena.
Yeah, it's down to a finish. Maud will need, well, she doesn't need a treble, but it would be useful. Certainly needs one now.
44. Lerena require 167.
So 6 from 167.
60. 60. Lerena require 107.
Treble 20. Worst possible dart when you've got 100 left.
Maud require 120.
Can still be done.
80. Lerena require 80.
Chances have been few and far between for the Swede. However, she will come back for a go at tops. This is merely for a hold of throw.
Oh dear. Drifts into the 5, so she corrects for double 16.
24.
Narrowly inside, so Lerena not punished and now needs double 5 for the set.
Splits for double 2.
6. Maud require 16.
Can she use that as a guide?
8. Lerena require 4.
Well, she found double 1 in the first leg, but no joy there for Lerena, so Maud has more chances to punish her.
Well, that's fortunate she didn't bust. Over adjusts.
No score. Lerena require 4.
Back for double 1.
No score.
Wrong double.
Maud require 8.
This was my worry for Lerena, was this first time up on a big stage like this. Would doubling prove a problem for her? But at the moment, she is, by and large, getting away with it because Maud is not able to find that outer ring either.
Lerena nearly found the tyre with that first dart. And then ultimately, the second one proved to be a blocker. Double 1 is in from Maud Jansson. It's almost reminiscent, really, of the Hutchinson-Ehash game where Lerena's scoring is better. She looks the more convincing player. But I think she is being dragged down a level because Maud's not putting her under any real pressure.
Yeah, and that absence of pressure is giving her more time on the doubles, which she's ultimately taking. And in that last leg, ended up getting punished because she couldn't find her way out of the double two-shaped hole at the bottom of the board. But I mean, Maud is a very, very capable player. Had been sort of neck and neck with Anna in the North Europe region for qualification last year. And then with Anna having made her debut, Anna sort of played a few less tournaments this year, which opened the door for Maud. And yeah, she was sort of in a battle with Kirsi Vinnikainen and also Michelle Merlick from Denmark. But Maud went to the most places and she had the most success. So she was the one that topped the ranking. And then we saw a rival there, Kirsi, come through the qualifier. And of course, Kirsi picked up a win on Saturday evening and looked pretty comfortable in the end against Amanda Locke.
100.
And she's got a very easy second round game in the form of Bo Greaves, is it?
Yeah, it's one to look forward to tomorrow evening. Should be an excellent evening's entertainment tomorrow night. We've also got 2022 champion Neil Duff in the house. And a man you may have spotted during Lorena's walk-on, the tallest man in this year's championship. It's one of the tallest men in darts, full stop, Jimmy Van Ski, who now WDF World #1, #2 seed, and many, many people's favourite for this tournament.
One of the tallest men out of 3.5 billion on planet Earth, I think. 6'9.5", I think, is the official height.
Yeah, so he's only got 1 foot and 1 inch on me then at 5'8.5". That's not a way to make you feel emasculated on a Monday afternoon, is it? There's 2 lovely darts from Maud.
125. Lerena 70.
He has put pressure on.
Oh dear, and that pressure's told.
30.
2 ragged darts from Lerena. So Maud shot 93.
Leaves the bullseye.
52.
Seen plenty of goals at that in this game.
40.
Relatively fuss-free in that leg from Lerena Rietbergen. No dodgy doubling. Missed tops, but was straight in at double 10. And as a consequence, she takes the first set.
55. 21.
Winner of this will take on the #3 seed, Rhiannon O'Sullivan, who is probably the one to beat in the bottom half of the draw.
Yeah, absolutely. I think many people would have been eyeing up Lisa Ashton's prospects in the bottom half, but of course we saw Lisa fall by the wayside against Sophie McKinley. I spoke about that at the top of the broadcast. I thought Sophie was absolutely exceptional last night. A genuinely stunning performance from her. And it wasn't just the way she played, because I think she's capable standard-wise of even more than that. It was the composure, and I really don't like this term, but to borrow a footballing expression, the bottle that she showed, because to win the first set is great, but then to see a 4-time world champion come back at you, a lot of players would then start to crumble. Particularly when you're 18 and it's your first time playing on a big stage like that, and there was nothing. Sophie showed no fear, nothing, just got up there, continued playing her own game, and, you know, got the job done. Had 4 darts to win it, got taken to a decider, and then, yeah, eventually went out on double 7. So very, very impressive from Sophie. But yeah, I think Rhiannon definitely the one to watch in the bottom half, or last year's finalist Eileen de Graaf.
Sophie's demeanour that was so impressive, and she didn't really give anything away in terms of her body language or facial expressions.
42.
No, she's pretty emotionless when she plays, Sophie, to be fair, and I think it could be a product of the fact that within the youth system in Scotland. You know, she's called the trophy because she's won so many, but I think it's because she has been playing competitive stuff and been in finals in youth events and in women's events as well for so many years that she's maybe got some of the more emotional tendencies she may have had out of her game. And now she's got that big stage experience. I think it bodes very well for her prospects in the women's tournament, but also the girls, which she'll enter on Saturday.
Well, Maud's having a shocker here. 2-2 for Lerena.
64.
Again, under no real pressure, but she finds herself back down on 2-2, which was not very kind to her in that first set.
140.
The Swede does get down to a finish, but she's not going to come back for it. You'd forgive Lerena for fearing 2-2, having nightmares about that target, but she was straight in there.
41.
Yeah, and I'm sure in Lorena's mind, she'll be thinking, get the job done here, get the victory under my belt. I'll have done it then, and I can come back and we'll probably play with more freedom and fluidity against Rhiannon O'Sullivan. But, you know, I'm sure Maud is still a live threat in this one. She just needs to, the 140 in the last leg, she needs to find those sorts of visits on a more regular basis.
$41. 100.
But yeah, Lorena's darts certainly do stay thrown in the board. Akin to spears, I think.
There is a tradition at Lakeside of darts getting thrown in the lake.
Yeah.
I think if Lerena was to do that, it'd cause a bit of a tidal wave.
Yes, I'm not sure if Matthew Edgar actually did chuck his darts in the lake on Saturday night. I know he said that he was going to. I don't know if he actually did after his game with Jarno Bottenberg.
35.
Yeah, that looked initially like good approach play there from Lerena, but she ended up either side of the treble 18 there.
41. Lerena by 125. 45.
Been far too many visits of that kind of calibre. Well, she's gone wide, she's over-adjusted.
Yeah. And that's, I think, my concern with the very straight-on stance that Maud and Anna both have, is that I don't know how much control you actually have, and it tends to have an impact on her grouping, and I think grouping is a fairly loose term for the visit, a lot of the visits that we've seen.
There's nothing wrong with the technique of Lerena Rietbergen, and now she's 1 leg away from winning, booking that spot in round 2 with Rhiannon O'Sullivan. A game that will take place on Wednesday evening.
Yeah, that'll be an entertaining game, although, as it looks like, Lerena will be in that one. She will know that she'll have to be a lot more clinical on the outer ring, because scoring-wise, she can probably match Rhiannon O'Sullivan's capabilities, but, you know, Rhiannon is where she is, and she's been to the finals she's been to and won all the accolades she has because she is more clinical. And, you know, Lerena will know that.
100.
And, you know, Maud, I'm disappointed for her, because she's definitely capable of more than she's been able to display so far today. But
26.
as you said, too many errant darts and loose visits have cost her, and when she has had opportunities to punish Lerena's wayward finishing, she's often not been close enough, or when she has got there, hasn't taken her chances. Just one leg on the board so far for the experienced Swede.
40.
This is much better from Lerena. 14 loose tops.
131.
Not the worst time to make a mistake of missing the big number.
44.
Very little resistance has been offered by Maud Jansson, and Lerena Rietbergen will want to do this the stress-free way, the point I was going to make.
No score.
Yep.
I have a feeling that the dart at 11 is going to be nowhere near the double. It wouldn't surprise me if she hits the treble, because it's an over-adjustment. Well, she goes for 3 instead for tops.
3.
Well, not on a finish yet though, so those 2 mismatched darts won't go awry. I think, yeah, your point about 11 was well made. Didn't want to risk it again, Lerena.
Straight in from Lerena Rietbergen, and a straightforward victory for the young Dutch woman on her Lakeside debut. She will have to play better against Rianne O'Sullivan, of that there's no doubt. Maud unable to put her under any pressure on her Lakeside bout. So it's been a mixed day for the Swedes so far. Dennis Nilsson winning his opener, Maud losing hers. 2-0 to Lerena Rietbergen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join the